I don't know if I've ever seen something like what happened to Dillon Brooks today. Right after losing in the playoffs, it comes out in the media that the Grizzlies will not be bringing him back under any circumstances, which is wild. So today, we're going to be doing a Shanghai Sharks rebuild, and we're going to be building this team around Dillon Brooks. So, of course, to start off the rebuild, we've got to go ahead and bring in Dillon. And Dillon Brooks already has a pretty high shot tendency, but today he's going to have a 100 shot tendency, 100 touch tendency, and 48 minutes per game in the rotation. Our challenge to win a championship in 3 seasons as an expansion team. First off, let's go ahead and let's get Jalen Brunson. This seems like a no-brainer trade. We do have to take on Evan Fournier's contract, but we can trade him later down the line. I'm not too worried about that right now. DeAndre Ayton's a cool player, but we can get DeJounte Murray and Clint Capella. Why not do that? But Clint Capella, don't get too situated with the Sharks because we're going to go ahead and trade you. We're going to look for another move. And Alperen Sengun, we get younger at center. Why not do that? Now, something I got to keep in mind when making these moves is I can't really get any other small forwards. We want Dillon Brooks exclusively running that small forward position for us. And we're going to go out and get Keegan Murray. Since I have 3 years to try and win a championship with Dillon Brooks as a focal point of our team, I wanted to try and get some young players who we could build with. But let's see how season 1 goes. I mean, our team really isn't too bad. I think we could potentially be a play-in team. But with Dillon Brooks having such a high shot tendency, I'm not too sure. And we're kind of struggling early on in the season. And Dillon Brooks is having a rough start to the year. So it looks like this might be a rough one for us. And the thing that confuses me about Dillon Brooks is I feel like he wasn't always as inefficient as he was this season. I really think it could have just been a down year for him, and in a new situation, he could make things work. Because as much as people want to make comments about his play, he is a great defender, and he was starting on the second-seeded Grizzlies for a reason. So don't think that this video is like, oh, Dillon Brooks is bad at basketball. I'm making this video just kind of as like a joke. It's not too serious. I don't have anything against Dillon Brooks or anything like that. I think that, he's great at basketball. And in a 1v1, I'd most definitely get dropped off 21-0, which is cool. And we did not end up making the playoffs this year, by the way. And I know that voice crack was crazy, but I'm not going to cut it out. Subscribe for more. We're trying to hit 10K. Dillon Brooks, though, was a leader on the team in scoring. He was definitely putting up some tour date type shooting numbers, but that's okay because we end up getting a better draft pick because of it, and we need that. And when we look at the draft lottery odds, we are 5th, which isn't great, but it works. And we end up moving up to 3rd, so everything worked out pretty well for us. And after this, Jalen Brunson was actually mad. I had the teammate chemistry on, or morale, or whatever you want to call it, right? I had the morale on, and so, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to go out and trade for Chris Paul. Chris Paul, you are a Shanghai Shark. All right, man. And you know what? Never mind. We'll go get Jalen Brunson back. We'll just take the pick that we got in the Chris Paul trade. And now Jalen Brunson's still mad to be here. I thought it would cancel out, y equals mx plus b, negative plus negative equals a positive. But we're going to go ahead and trade Derek White because we do need some more cap space for this offseason. I want to try and make some splashes in free agency. Shout out Chris Smoove. And let's go ahead. Speaking of trying to clear up cap space, we have Jalen Brunson, who's even madder now. Why is bro so mad? You're a Shanghai Shark. And we're going to try to trade him. We can clear up cap space, try to go after a free agent, and we could get the number 1 pick. So why not, man? And after including a couple firsts, boom, we get the number 1 pick. So Victor Wembanyama is officially going to be a Shanghai Shark in this video, man. And also, I do want to look at trading Evan Fournier because he's got a big contract. And of course, we do want to try and clear up as much cap space as possible. And with his albatross of a contract on the books, that just really isn't, a possibility. Well, it is, but we want more cap space. You get what I'm saying. Welcome to the squad, Victor and Scoot. Oh man, we've got a squad. I don't know how Scoot skipped. I don't know. Yo, I don't know how Scoot ended up dropping to 3, but hey, it worked out for us, man. And do y'all actually watch the like the ESPN debate shows and stuff? Because I thought that was something like, people's grandpas watched and stuff. But hey, I'm not. I don't know, man. They do their thing. A lot of people watch it, but I'm not one to really watch those debate shows. I feel like personally, maybe I'm biased because I make content on YouTube, but I feel like the YouTube platform has a ton of great content available where people talk ball. And also, we did get Kristaps Porzingis. I ended up actually missing out on a lot of guys I would have rather had, but it is what it is. Dillon Brooks is also back with the team. We gave him the 5-year deal, and we've got a pretty solid team going into this next season. I don't think this is our championship year, but give Vic and Scoot some room to develop, give them some time, and I think we'll be good to go, especially if we make a couple good offseason moves. I mean, even this year, maybe we could be contenders. Over 50 wins on the seasons. Are we contenders or are we pretenders? I guess we'll have to see going into these playoffs. Man, Scoot had a mean rookie season. He was stuffing the stat sheet. Oh, speaking of, have you ever tried stuffed crust pizza? Because, I don't know. This is going to be like an L take, but I like the way the pizza tastes until you get to the crust. Also, here's Dillon Brooks' stats. I don't think he's playing all 48 because of foul outs, but I don't want to turn foul outs off. I mean, maybe that would have made the video better, but I don't know. I feel like for realism, we'll just make it like this. And I mean, realistically, a guy probably wouldn't want to play all 48 minutes every single night. He'd probably get tired. But anyway, as I was saying, the edges of the crust is kind of an L, but the inside of the crust, where you got the dough, the cheese, and me personally, I'm a pepperoni pizza type of guy. If you put pineapple on pizza, I won't even judge. I haven't tried it. Let me know in the comment section. Should I try that? And also, we lost in the first round. But yeah, I don't know. There's my stuffed crust pizza take. We lost in 7 to the Lakers. I mean, they got Bron and AD. They're not your average 7 seed. Just like in real life, they're a 7 seed taking on the Warriors in game 1 tonight. I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for this series so much, man. LeBron versus Curry. Oh my goodness. I mean, back in 2018 when we'd seen part 72 of Bron versus Curry in the finals, I was tired of it, but now I'm fiending for it. I can't wait for this series. And unfortunately, some of those picks that we ended up trading away ended up being good, and that Hornets pick I went out and traded for wasn't even good, and we traded the eventual 4th pick to get that Hornets pick, so I did not cook it all with that one. But we're going to go out and get Jaren Jackson Jr. for defense. Dillon Brooks and Jaren Jackson Jr. will be reunited. And then I'm going to make this move mainly to try and clear up cap space. Although this one, and we get a good pick from the Spurs. But this move kind of ended up backfiring on me because Trey Jones, he's on a pretty big contract. And we needed to clear up cap because I want to go after some big name free agents. Anthony Davis, Jaylen Brown. There's a lot of big names. There's some restricted free agents, and I tried going after those guys. Ultimately, I pretty much struck out on everybody, or at least so I thought. Then, after the moratorium, Jaylen Brown popped back up. He said, I'm back after Michael Jordan came out of retirement. He announced he was back. That's what Jaylen Brown just did. He said, I'm back. You know what I mean? But what am I talking about? But we go ahead and we get Jaylen Brown on our basketball team. I offer the no trade clause, the Brinks truck. He got the bag, and now he's on the roster. And we got Kelly Oubre Jr. We've got a squad, man. I can't lie to y'all. The progression is looking beautiful. Straight green arrows. Everybody going up. Isn't that a superhero? The green arrow? Maybe. I don't know. I've never been a big superhero movie guy or really a movie guy in general. Some people think that's weird, but I don't know. That's just me. You know what I mean? And Darius Garland's cooking. Is that his second MVP in a row? Bam won DPOY. And Keegan, he won Most Improved, which is unfortunate. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the playoffs. We had a good season. We're not too worried about Keegan Murray or anything like that. We're trying to go out here and win a championship. The Shanghai Sharks ring season is here. Let's go ahead and get to it. We're the 2nd seed just like last season. This time I think we have more wins though. Dillon Brooks, he ends up averaging a little over 15 points per game, and we're going to get straight to it. Let's see if we can win this championship. Round 1, we got the Pels, and it's a much different outcome than it was with the Lakers. We end up beating the Pels in 5, and round 2, we go to 7, but we end up winning against the Rockets. And in Game 7, it wasn't even close because we really have it like that. Our team's really nice like that. And now we're moving on to the conference finals. We have the Utah Jazz. And the Jazz, I could see them being a good team in the future. They've got some good young players. They got Lauri Markkanen. They got a lot of draft picks. And yeah, it doesn't really matter though because we're going to beat them in 4. We're moving on to the NBA Finals. Jaylen Brown is our team's leader, conference MVP. And Dillon Brooks, he's cooking. I could just see somebody making a graphic that says like Brooks cooks at the top. And it has his playoff stats because look at Dillon Brooks go. And we're here. It's the NBA Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And this is a 2K fan favorite team. 2K loves this team. But in Game 1, we go ahead and we win. And Dillon Brooks was hooping. Game 2, we win. And Dillon Brooks was hooping. Game 3, guess what? We do it 3 times, back to back to back. What are we, MJ? 3 games in a row? And Dillon Brooks was hooping again. And we win the finals. Alperen Sengun finals MVP. Come on now. Dillon Brooks was the team leader, playing a lot of minutes. He was hooping in the playoffs. Man, oh wow, this was fun. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe.